supposed to stay here, sorry. I am a professor and I like to walk all around, but I must stay here. So thank you for coming and being here with us, with ISTV. And here we're going to have a session on education. So as I said, speakers have to stay here because we have a mic and we have the camera. But we're going to have a pointer that is going to be showing up on the screen here and on your screen on the people who are virtually. So to get started, it's my time to show you this project that we have been working on for the last 7 years. And the name of it is CABANAnet. And we have some numbers that we want to show you about the impact of this project on Latin America. So I'm currently the coordinator. My name is Rebeca Campos-Sánchez. And with us, here is actually a very small list of collaborators, but I want to mention that these are the guys who are helping us to carry the program as it is now. So we have Alejandro Reyes Munoz, we have Adrián Durjansky, Carlos Molenuti, Jan Cruz, Adrián Gatica, Andrés Gatica, and Valeria Fagioli. And with them, we have a larger group of people working in our projects and coordinating activities for the network. So what is CABANAnet for those of you who have not heard about it? It started as a capacity building project in bioinformatics in Latin America. And at the beginning, it was called Cabana. It was called like that for the first 5 years. And it is a project focused on strengthening bioinformatics capabilities. And we were focused on three main topics, or three thematic areas. One of them is communicable diseases, the protection of biodiversity, and sustainable food production. And from the beginning, from 2017 until 2022, it was funded by the Global Challenges Research Fund. This is a budget that came from the United Kingdom. And all of our objectives were aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And since 2022 until now, and a little bit of next year, we have changed into CABANAnet because it evolved a little bit. So now the project is coordinated in Latin America, and it is funded by Chan Zuckerberg Foundation, specifically within a program called Communities of Practice. In addition to the Chan Zuckerberg grant, we have funding that comes from national and international entities, and also small contributions from our own institutions, and mostly for workshops. And this is a small list of institutions that collaborate with us, because I know that we have impacted a larger amount of institutions in the region. But for the moment, we have in our coordinating team people from Mexico, people from Costa Rica, Peru, Chile. We have people from Uruguay as well, Argentina, Brazil, more recently the West Indies, because we're trying to expand a little bit more to the Caribbean, and also one of our supporters from the beginning, the EMBL EBI. So along the years, CABANAnet has become a model of organization and trying to deliver our goals. So right now, the program is organized around research projects. So I'll show you a bunch of them today. Then we developed this activity that is called the Knowledge Exchange Meeting, where we try to show the community wherever we go, because we have done this in many places in Latin America, what we have been doing and how we think the impact of our activities and our research, how it impacts these regions with our research. Then we have a second program that is called secondments. These are like short internships where we send people from one country to the other one, from one institution to the other one. So we try to encourage this exchange of knowledge across the region. Then we have the regular train-the-trainer focused on bioinformatics education, workshops, because for those of you working with informatics, I guess most of you are, there are many many pipelines on that you can implement many different types of data sets. So we try to adapt our workshops to data sets that are specific to Latin America, that could be relevant to the people attending. And we do the same with e-learning. So we developed tutorials in order to teach the community about some tools, about some pipelines, but we also use data that is generated within our countries. And in addition to that, because we are a network, we try to interact with other people, with other networks. We do advocacy work, policies, civil society interactions. We also try to facilitate infrastructure within our communities and across the communities in the region. We need to stop.
There's weird static. I'm just going to reboot the microphones here.
Okay.
I apologize for this.
No worries. Should we try it?
Let me get back to presentation.
Okay. Good. So then we have our web page. Good. Then we have our web page that we have been trying to update in order to have more information that is relevant for people in the region and also for our potential funders for the activities that we normally do. And as you may know, any type of network has to have some social media to share all of our resources and our activities and so on. And I'm going to invite you to join if you have not for the moment. Okay, so up to 2022, these were the major numbers around the network. So we delivered 39 secondments, which means 39 people trained on bioinformatics, very, very detailed training in bioinformatics. With the train the trainer, we have over 120 trainees in this program. We also, through the workshops, actually 28 workshops, we train over 800 people. We delivered 7 online courses, e-learning courses, and we were working on 7 research projects. Now, up to now, from 2022 until now, we have been able also to run 10 new secondments. So that means 10 people who are involved for a medium-sized period, almost six months, working with us, developing our projects. We have trained the trainers as well. We have trained so far 5 people. With the workshops, we have delivered 4 face-to-face workshops. We have trained 131 people. And we have developed 4 e-learning new tutorials that are available, openly available. And we are currently running 6 research projects. And at the beginning of this year, we decided to make a thorough analysis of what we have been doing. And that includes publications. So from the first years of the program and until 2023, we were able to publish 48 papers. And also the tutorials are included here. And most of them are related to our research themes or topics of collaborations. But in addition to that, we have had others that derived from the activities that we also do and the interests as well of some of our other collaborators. And looking at the geographic distribution of our activities, we are a Latin American network, so all of the activities, we do them here. However, at the beginning, we had some that run in the UK, just 5 of them, but the rest were delivered here in Latin America. We didn't get to reach or to have activities in each of the countries here. However, for the workshops, we did have representation pretty much from every single country in the region, except 2 countries. And these are the numbers, but the blue ones here, the light blue ones, are the ones that we have delivered over the last 2 years. So it's really, really nice to see this map. I always get excited about how far we have gone. However, we know that we need more collaborations with additional institutions. Even within the countries, we have been talking about is how can we reach out not only the main cities, because it's easier to get there, to get people there, but we also want to reach other faraway regions and maybe rural areas with our trainings and so on. But we will see how this goes on. And these are some statistics from the first workshops that we ran until 2022. So as you can see here, well, the letters are a little bit small, but we basically reached many of the countries with the workshops. We had participants, at least one participant from all of these countries, and now we also reached El Salvador. So these are key contacts because these are people interested in the topics that we were delivering in the workshops, but some of them are also key because they are in institutions that do need these resources and that maybe they can also be trainers within their institutions. So we think this is very strategic, as you can see. And in terms of gender balance for our workshops, this was very, very well balanced, almost 50% female, male. But for the last 2 years, we haven't been increasing the amount of women. And this is something we definitely have to work on. We don't want to have only women participating on the workshops, so we have to balance this a little bit more. And about scholarships, because for most of our activities, or part of them, pretty much 50% of them, we have scholarships for people to attend. And in that sense, we have given these scholarships to obviously females and males, almost 60%. I can see my numbers here. Almost 80% of underrepresented groups. According to ethnicity, well, most of the people in Latin America are mestizos, so that's why we have here a huge amount of them. But we also have people that were Native Americans or that describe themselves as Native Americans, for example. And the countries that were benefited with these scholarships, most of them were from Argentina, Mexico, and Brazil, because we got the most people from these regions participating. And I will briefly show you the list of projects that we are currently developing or carrying on. So we have one around the SARS-CoV-2, where we are analyzing data sets, pretty much all that is available until 2022-24 on this virus. And this is one of the research projects that it's currently, the paper is under review for publication. Then this group of people from Argentina, they have been working for a long time on a tool, and they will have a presentation later today. Gabriel is going to present this one on a tool that is called Target Pathogens, and they are including new key pathogens for our region in their database, and we're supporting part of the work. We're also developing this human gut microbiome project, but we're focusing on population and nutritional risk. We also have a soil microbiome project, which has been incredibly successful. This is kind of the second version of this one. Now they are expanding to other agroecosystems to study this, the impact of these microbiomes on production. Then we have this one on genomics of vanilla varieties, trying to look for climate adaptive varieties. And this is a very intense work trying to find those specific varieties that could be relevant for improving the vanilla resistance. And finally, this is the sixth project on mutants of coffee. Again, trying to find some mutants that are good in response to, or that can survive against the orange rust. So, because we're always expanding, I think this is a really good opportunity to tell you how, if you want to, join us. So we're always looking for new collaborators, including countries. We have pretty much reached all of them, but we are looking to go into the Caribbean. We don't have contacts yet in Nicaragua, or people coming to our workshops from Nicaragua, for example. So maybe these are regions that we can go to. And new institutions, because some countries are really huge. So we definitely want to reach other institutions, not in the main cities, but somewhere else as well. That's also possible. We also are looking for trainers, especially people who knows how to speak multiple languages. That's really useful. We are looking for e-learning material. We try to adapt and to select the training materials based on the needs of the community. And as I said at the beginning, we are using data sets that are local. So it makes sense for us to do this way because we know the impact of bioinformatics and data science here. We obviously look for research proposals that we can collaborate with because we're a network that does research and training. We can also support other efforts or other proposals in those terms. To propose workshops, if you know that you have a specific need and that we can help you with the coordination or delivering the trainings, you can contact us. And you can also participate in our calls. We have several calls a year for workshops, for internships or secondments. So you can follow us on social media so you can know where we are and the opportunities that we have. And just to finish up, these are the ways to contact us. We have, well, social media, the YouTube channel. We put there some of our activities that we record. We have our email, which we normally check and reply to any of the messages that we get through that means. And then we have our website, which is, we have been updating it, so it's a little bit incomplete in some sections, but the idea is to populate it as soon as possible with the relevant information for the network. And with that, I want to finish and to acknowledge all of our collaborators over the time. Hopefully you will join us if you're interested. And that would be it. Thank you very much. If you have a question, or tell me your questions would be the right way to say it, you can just speak up. We have a very loud mic here that can catch your voices. So, questions? Nothing? Okay. We can move on. Yeah, tell me.
How have you addressed the technological barrier between the Latino population to get access to that kind of education?
Yeah, for example, for e-learning, the new tutorials that we are developing are on Google Colab, for example. So this is easier to access, right? And it's easier for people to follow. For the workshops, we normally go to places where they already have the facility, like computational labs, because we don't expect people to bring their own computers, okay? But we do expect that the place where we go, even if it's a rural institution or some, they should have their computational and good internet, because we need good internet for doing bioinformatics. So those are our limitations for the moment. We need to go to places where they have at least a basic type of infrastructure for trainings.
Yeah, for the future, I think making use of
The cloud.
would be a really good way of this challenge. So I'm rather than the European Bioinformatics Institute, so I've worked with CABANAnet, well, from the very beginning, from the grant application stage, first time around. And at the EDI, we now offer all of our training with cloud-based compute. That's enabled us to move the compute close to where we're delivering training. So, for example, we did some training in Peru a few years ago, and they were able to make use of the AWS service in Brazil. And yes, it's still quite a distance, but the lag was less than if we're using surgery. So that opens up really nice new opportunities, and I know that some of the commercial cloud providers are really, really keen to offer new services in Latin America. Some of this is getting going as we speak. So we should be able to make use of that.
Yes. And if you think you have an issue with delivering training because of that, we can talk about it and maybe figure out a way to solve it. Yep. It's good to know the difficulties in order to try to address them.
Okay.